Hi guys, Righteous Raymond here, author of Gaslit, Escaping the Narcissist Pit. Today's video is going to be another 10-minute video, and it's going to be on boundaries. So here's my book here. I'm going to go to a chapter chapter 6, where I talk about boundaries, okay? So I'm going to read just a small subsection. So boundary setting. Let us talk more about the very important concept of boundaries. Boundaries can mean the difference between prosperity and poverty, tranquility and turmoil, and even life and death. To an extent, the next 6 months can be the worst or the best of your life, depending on which and how many boundaries you put in place and enforce. The key verb here is enforce. It is a waste of time to say, this is my ultimate deal breaker, only to take that person back time and time again. When you say you will not tolerate something, do not. You say, I'm not going to tolerate this. I need you to measure twice, cut once. Measure twice and cut once. I do not care if you feel that you're being too extreme or too harsh. Stand behind your decision 10 toes down, right or wrong. You make your decision. You already thought about it for months at a time, years at a time. So when you measure twice, cut once. Don't be back and forth. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna talk to you about boundaries, okay? So I have some a little prop here. This is some putty out of this box. It's the kind of putty you use to like clean your car, the little crevices of your car and your keyboard and everything. So this is something that has poor boundaries. It's very amorphous. It's just, they use it to like collect dust off of like surfaces in your car because it has no boundaries. So anything can just suck into it. Anything can become a part of it, incorporate into it because there's no boundary. It just stretches wherever you want it to be. No shape. Amorphous, meaning no shape. This is something that's solid. This has a shape to it, has boundaries, it even has protection. It has a fence, a gate you can close around it. So we want to become more like this, not like this. This thing has no back and squeeze it. Whatever shape I want it to be, has no boundaries. This has boundaries. This says you can come in and I can decide when you stay out. You see what I'm saying? So when you have poor boundaries, you are a prime target for the narcissist. People with poor boundaries are prime candidates for narcissistic abuse because you don't know where you begin and where you end and where the next person begins. And so I want you to learn about boundaries, okay? So boundaries, you have to know who you are first. Got to know who you are. You got to know, what do you prefer? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are your deal breakers? What will you tolerate? What you would not tolerate? How many chances do you give a person to do something to you? You got to know who you are. You got to say, I'm not with that. For example, let's say you're a vegetarian. If you're a vegetarian, guess what? If you're a vegetarian, it means you say no to all meats. That's my boundary line. I eat the chips. I eat the salad. I eat the candy bar. I'm not eating no pork. I'm not eating no steak. I'm not eating no hot dog. You see what I'm saying? Or if you are, a Nazarene, the Nazarites in the Bible, they didn't cut their hair, they didn't drink wine, and they did not touch dead, beings or whatever. You know what you do and don't do. You say if you're devout Muslim, you do not eat pork. If you're devout Jew, you do not eat pork. You see what I'm saying? When you're a devout Christian, there's some things you do not engage in. You have to know who you are. Everyone has a boundary line. Some of us have, we have a physical, like a personal bubble space. Like, usually it's like our arm's length. So someone gets like between like your arm's length and yourself. You feel, hold up now, you back up soon. This is my boundaries. I just start with my skin. My boundary is actually an arm's length away from me. Anywhere around me, don't come up my face. Somebody come up your face or point in your face. That's still your personal boundary. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. If you're in my personal space, then you are crossing a boundary line. You have to have, back up. Don't do that. Someone screaming in your ear. Don't yell at me. I don't like that. Don't yell at me. You're screaming at me. Someone spitting on you, hitting you, punching you, kicking you. Nobody has a right to cross your personal boundary line. No one has a right to, some people, they jump at you like, man, I hit you. They still get in your personal space threatening you. Don't let nobody come in your boundary line. There's physical, I'm talking your physical skin. There's an arm's distance away. You have a personal space bubble around you. Protect your boundaries. Then you have a physical, mental boundary. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let anybody try to trick you and manipulate you. If you love me, you would do this with me. If you care about me, you would give me this. If you like me, you would do this for me. You would go here with me. Someone trying to manipulate your mental boundary. You may say, I'm going to do this and no more. I need you to know where you're going to decide this is where I end and this is where you begin. Think about if you have a home, you have a neighbor, you have a fence, you know, between your houses. This lets you know you purchased what's on this side of the fence. I purchased what's on this side of the fence. I'm responsible for what falls in my boundary line. I'm not cutting your grass for you. I'm not checking your mail for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take care of what's in my boundary line. In your home, you know, I live in an apartment complex. So it's a lot of apartments where I live at. I don't clean nobody else's apartment. I don't check nobody else's mailbox. I know where my boundary lies, okay? You gotta have boundaries with your job. You know, you sign a contract to work. I work at my job 8:30 to 5 with an hour-long lunch break in between. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to work at 8:59 and I gotta work at 5:01. I can leave. I work the hours I'm supposed to work and I leave, okay? They have a boundary for my income. They say you give me this much an hour, this much a year, this is your salary. They don't have to give me anything extra outside of their boundary line. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have boundaries. Even at church, you decide. The Bible says to give as you purpose in your heart, being a cheerful giver. You don't have to give anything you don't feel like giving. You don't feel like giving $100, don't give $100. You feel like giving 50, give 50. You feel like giving nothing, give nothing. Give as you purpose in your heart. That's your boundary, your financial boundary. Okay, you choose your charity. 20 people may, you know, in the year, you get a whole bunch of like charity letters coming from people that want you to give to their charity. You choose your charity, your boundary line. I'm going to give this much to a charity, and I will choose my own charity. Okay? Go on a date with a young man, ladies. I don't care if he buys you steak. I don't care if you take a vacation. I don't care if he buys you a Birkin bag. I don't care. You decide on your own, I'm not going to do this with the man until marriage or until after the third date or until after he spends this much money. Whatever your boundary is, right or wrong, it's your boundary. Well, he gave me a steak, I should kiss him. He gave me a steak, he bought me a dinner, I should go sleep with him. No, you do what's in your boundary. You set your boundaries before you go out in the world. And that's the thing you have to understand, you all. You must set your boundaries before you even go out into the world. Don't go into the world and not have a boundary. Don't go into the world, no boundaries at all. Because guess what? You have a boundary. Guess what? I want you to see this up close. You see all kind of junk and dirt in there. That's stuff I can clean off my car. When you don't have boundaries, you go out into the world and you collect everything people put on you. Everything people want to put on you. I got this exactly lint on my shirt. You can pick up all the little stuff on me because I don't have boundaries. I don't want junk in me. This is clean. This thing is clean. There's no junk on this thing. This thing went out to the world as itself, came back home as itself. And some of you all, you're going out to the world, you come back, you're like, if I left that church, I'm not myself anymore. If I left that sorority, I'm not myself anymore. If I left that college, if I left that seminary, if I left that job, if I left my family reunion, I'm not myself no more. You need to go in places knowing this is who I am. You're not going to change me. Now, you can influence me for better. And I can choose whether to take this new habit on. Like, let's say somebody teaches you to eat healthier or to rest more, exercise more. You can pick up certain habits if you want to when you go out into the world. But when you go out into the world, you all, don't let the world change you. Know who you are. Know what you will or will not tolerate, okay? When I go on a date with some young man, I don't let him tell me what I'm going to do sexually. I don't care if you spend $500. I don't care if you spend $5,000. I don't care. I decide what I do with my body, my choice. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you came all the way over here from California. I don't care. It's my body, okay? I choose what I do with my body, my time, my energy, my money. You see what I'm saying? I have I don't say very well defined boundaries. I'm working on getting some well defined boundaries, okay? But you have to know who you are, y'all. Before you go out into the world, before you start dating, before you join a church, before you start a new job, before you join a new organization, go in knowing what you will and will not give. Because guess what? The givers must know their limits because the takers don't have any. If you're a giver and you have no boundaries, you'll just give and give and give and give and give. The takers won't ever say so. They won't ever say, oh, you're giving too much, you're doing too much. They'll let you keep giving till you are all given up. You're all soiled and dirty and stressed out and burnt out and exhausted. Say, no. I'm going to give you this much money at church today. I'm going to give you this much time at the family reunion. I'm not saying no longer. I'm giving you this much time on the clock overtime. I'm not giving you all my time. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm responsible for me. I don't want to go sleep at night with my blood pressure. You see what I'm saying? Or my stress levels. You know what I'm saying? And I'm stressing myself out trying to please somebody else. They're not going to die for you. I bet you that much. They're not going to die for you. So yes, I want y'all to know your boundaries. Write down on a sheet of paper who I am. What are my characteristics? What do I not like? What will I say no to? What's my deal breaker? What are my preferences? What are my values? What are my convictions? And say, if it don't fit who I am, I would not commit. If it don't fit, I must have quit. You must have quit. So, buy my book on Amazon, guys. Bye.